This right here is quite surprisingly a nice case, and not in terms of any special features, because after all it does support back connect even further than the regular, so it has loads of holes around it to support back connect for ATX and micro ATX. But the thing about this case is that it kind of brings back to the roots, let's put it this way. So it comes in two colors, you have it in black and white, you have these kind of cool lines on the edges right here, and it comes with 4 pre-installed fans. This is Cooler Master MasterBox 600, and we're going to take it for a spin, but we're not going to use any extreme components because I got power supply to pair up with this case, which is GX3 650 watts gold power supply, which is fully modular as well. So it kind of goes into a segment of budget build. But then we go with the budget build and have Cooler Master Master Liquid 360 Atmos at the top. So it kind of, you know, I don't know, it creates extreme cooling for a budget, let's say, turnaround when we're talking about components. So yeah, there's that. Now about the case. So the case comes with 3 140 cycle flow fans pre-installed on the front and 120 cycle flow at the back. The thing about these fans is that they are pre-connected to a controller at the back, but they're running at 100%, and what I would suggest, definitely going through BIOS and adjust the fan curve so they don't actually spin that loud and create unnecessary noise. Apart from that, we have, as I already mentioned, back connect, and the cool combination when we're talking about the color scheme is that the black has the grayish part and the white has the grayish part, so it kind of has that front panel cool design and the side panel. It, as I said, it goes back to the roots, but we have quite nice subtle case. In terms of visual aspect, there's not much aggressive lines going throughout the case like we had in the past. We have an opening here for the, as you can see, for the PCIe or 12E HPWR cable, which is quite cool, and I'm actually missing this in other cases. This is really handy, really makes it easier to connect your GPU instead of having the cable running down here around the front panel jack or whatever, you know, it's something like that. So what's it all about with this case? At the back we have loads of space for cable organization, which is outstanding. Here on the side you have a possibility to mount 3 2.5 inch SSDs, which is really outstanding, and right above those brackets, well, they aren't brackets, they're just holes where you attach, you put those rubber grommets and you attach the SSDs there, and then you have that addressable RGB controller, and then you have a RGB and the DC connection running throughout that you need to connect to your motherboard. Now the thing about the addressable RGB, you have a button on top if you don't have addressable RGB on your motherboard. So my suggestion, if you actually do have addressable RGB on your motherboard, connect it, but then you can't control it on top. You have to unplug it to control it on top, and that's basically it, which is quite alright, I do have to say. Now, since I mentioned storage, at the power supply shroud compartment you have two 3.5 inch hard drive caddies where you can place your hard drives, and that's basically it. Now, talking about component size, this will be quite interesting for you guys. The CPU tower cooler can go up to 170 millimeters. The AIO on top, as you can see, goes up to 360, but the cool thing is that you can place a 420 at the front, which is outstanding because we're talking about a €100 case that comes packed with 4 fans already pre-installed with the controller, addressable RGB and DC, whatever, but you can connect it to PWM, and then you can place a 420, and it looks nice, it looks clean, it looks, I love these lines. The best thing is that, well, in my personal opinion, Cooler Master tends to place their logos quite subtly, so I'm really loving this right in the middle of the bottom fan, and on top where you have the I/O panel, which is quite cool because the power button is in Cooler Master logo. Then we have the reset button, which acts as an LED adjustment. Then we have indication light, you have 3.5mm combo jack for your audio, then we have USB Type-C and 2 USB Type-A, which is quite solid and quite enough for all connections. All in all, quite straightforward building. There's not much to say basically because we're looking at a quite lovely case in terms of minimalistic, I would say. Minimalistic, elegant, love the lines on the front, which do definitely look outstanding. And I was quite shocked. I didn't expect this. You know, you get more aggressive cases, you get more cases with tons of features where you talk like for half an hour or even more, then I have to cut the video in half because, well, who's gonna watch a video of 40 minutes? And then we get this, which is quite straightforward, simple case, and brings all the old school stuff back to the market, which is outstanding. Now, for the benchmarks, this is quite different because since I have a 650 watts power supply, I use Intel Arc A750 and, well, a stupid combination, but regardless of that, AMD Ryzen 7 Pro 7745. And here are the results. Of course, we're going to see low thermals and high performance because we are, after all, running loads of fans. We can go with 7 120mm fans, and in general, if we do such thing. And then we have 360 Atmos, which has proven to perform outstandingly good on every processor, even including the AMD Ryzen 9 7900X3D. And now we have a much lower TDP processor, which will definitely perform without a doubt. So CPU in AIDA 64 Extreme Edition 67 degrees with clock speed 5125, and the GPU is definitely laughable thermals 41 degrees. So yeah, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. If I was going with at least 850 watts of power supply, I would definitely place RTX 4080 Gaming X Trio and paired it up with 7900 X3D to get more, I don't know, more information to compare it to others. But honestly, this case is designed in such a way that it brings out the performance without any problems. And in Cinebench, the CPU was 65 throughout whole 10 benchmarks. And when we're talking about the clock speed from 5000 to 5025 megahertz throughout the whole 10 benchmarks, which is outstanding. And of course, this Atmos and case in this combination pushed the processor above its limits, well, above its limits that I managed to push. So 18,122 started there, and then it started a bit back, and then eventually it went to 18,231 and something like that. So some average was around 18,150. Let's put it this way, 150, which is 100 more than the last time I tested out. The one thing that I would definitely point out is the front panel, which, not this one, the inner front panel, the inner chassis that holds the fans, right? So you have loads of unnecessary steel plates here that cover up the fan. So imagine if they made a circular opening for the fan and just placed the possibility to mount the fan with the screw, giving you an option to have much more airflow without any restrictions. But okay, I guess that's how it is. At the bottom we have a dust filter, which isn't magnetic, but it's attached with some hinges. At the top we have a magnetic dust filter, and the front is fine mesh, as you already know from my past videos. Small enough to block the dust, big enough to create a normal airflow. So all in all, quite satisfied with the case, don't get me wrong. Apart from the front chassis steel plates, everything else is outstanding. We have loads of possibility to reroute the cables at the back, giving you an option to use the zip ties and tie up the cables at the back, which is quite outstanding, giving you a possibility to create and a great cable management. And of course the opening right here is quite cool because it gives you an option to put the cables right here, making it like a waterfall cable instead of some sort of a swirl at the back, which this definitely looks much nicer and tidier without a doubt. All in all, Cooler Master MasterBox 600 is a nice case, back to the roots, original, with back connect, that with the motherboard, the brands that actually support back connect. All in all, that's it, guys. The link is in the description below for the Cooler Master MasterBox 600 black and white, Atmos 360 black and white. And if you really desire to go with GX3 650 and this is enough for your PC build, that is also in the description below, so you can check out the prices and compare everything that you desire to compare it with. And finally, don't forget to sub, hit the like button, click the notification bell. Hopefully I'll see you in another one. Thanks for watching, thanks for sticking by. Bye bye.